It's tough. Or you can maybe go Lotus Orb, perhaps, could work, because you could reflect amp damage, Dagger from PA. There's some other options, but he's got to get to that armor item fast, and maybe he'll even skip Bloodstone. Is that too crazy? I think that's too crazy.
Can you get an early Yules and then go into Bloodstone? Like, because is Yules too expensive to slip into that item pool?
It's not about expense. It's about how tanky you are, and it's absolutely going to make you too squishy, I think, in the early game if you go.
Unless you get like the casual point booster or bit booster.
Treads. Yeah, something like that could work definitely. But removing amp damage is not the only way to keep him alive. You know, I think even something like a Veil as a side item on the way to his item after Bloodstone could help.
Well, we got what we wanted with this series of Dota. We got a whole bunch of heroes, some nerfs, some buffs, some not seen for a very long time, and they're all playing here in Secret vs Empire. So, get your knowledge hats on. You're going to be challenging this one, Purge, to see how it all works out. Maposhka, well, okay. That Observer and Sentry may get easily de-warded. There's no support around here, so Puppy's just going to push him out. But the fact that Maposhka moved to that area with smoke up, and then he planted the ward in vision of Puppy.
Yeah, I don't know if he saw the Sentry. He was invis when he placed Sentry, but he definitely saw the Observer ward. So minimum, easy 100 gold here for Puppy.
Well, because he already put the Sentry down to do the block, he may just consider putting it like behind the camp.
We'll see where he puts the Sentry. It's definitely possible that he could get both. It would be a huge gain. One Sentry as well for Forev to probably de-ward on the mid lane. But really, I'm curious what the lanes are going to be for Empire. Looks like Axe off lane right now. G is going mid on the PA, and then safe lane Warlock.
It looks
Slaughter.
Like is Omni Knight gonna head top? He's at home at the moment, so it looks like Maposhka could heal up and then just head north.
Yeah, that's kind of what it looks like. I think that would be a little.
He's got 14 seconds. He won't reach the bottom lane in time, so like wherever he goes from now, it should be the lane.
He's basically gonna roam, I think, between top and mid, because even showing up mid randomly with a PA versus a Leshrac is hugely potential for getting kills.
Alright, so he's just gonna block and then we'll find out where he'll head. But Team Secret showing almost an aggro tri lane on bottom by walking there with the Juggernaut, but it will be the Lesh, so it's the old school combo, but the very tried and tested one, the SD Disruption into stun, then Puppy follow-up Ignite at the moment.
Yeah, I like this a lot, because Lesh is definitely going to be potentially vulnerable against a PA since his armor is a bit low, so put him in the tri lane, get him guaranteed farm, and that should get him the faster Bloodstone, the HP, maybe some armor in there too. I'm
surprised Paladai hasn't leveled up Disruption. Is this a lane that has to wait until they have their level 2s before they try and attack anybody?
No, they don't. Just you never really know what he'll need. What if there's a level 1 fight at Roche?
Maposhka gonna run in. There's your Disruption. MP comes in with a Split Earth. And Maposhka, he's actually surrounded. The Purification will happen, so he gets a little bit more life back. And combining that up with the Shadow Word, Maposhka regens up nice and quickly.
They could maybe go again. Disruption 13 though. Oh, MP could just die here.
Only if Aloha can get the stun off. Maposhka might be low, but he still will survive this. As we quickly looked up to the top lane before as well, like that Timbersaw as well as Axe are just throwing punches at each other.
So some separation as well from the supports here. They kind of need to get back in a clump to cover each other. But Warlock's doing a lot of work. Just free 2 tangos basically. Tango and a half every time he casts Shadow Word on somebody. The value there is amazing.
And he even gets the pull done. Grab that wave off the side, and Team Secret can't really contest that. Puppy's trying to, but it can put him in a bad spot. But this might work against Aloha. They get the stun into the Ignite. Remember, you've still got Purification. They try and use the Shadow Word for now, and they're saving their heals.
This is iffy. I mean, Secret basically went for a kill tri-lane here, and they're against 2 support healers, so it like completely counters it. It doesn't matter if they do the combo. The Slaughter gets a free 180 HP every time he casts Shadow Word.
Oh, Forev. 2 Whirling Deaths and he almost kills Ghostic.
That's kind of a big timing miss though, because now Forev's out of mana, so the fact that Ghostic survived could mean a lot in this lane.
Puppy's coming back down to bottom lane.
Disruption bottom.
Yep, they try and go for it with the clap, but Puppy was too busy going up to get the rune, so he wasn't there to slow down Aloha straight away. He'll just have to throw off the Afterthought Ignite.
That's fine. I mean, he is burning through tangos at least. Most of the supports are towards empty now. It's actually just these 4 left on Aloha Dance, so they are getting through the regen. Looks like they're winning that war at least.
I was wondering if Paladai would still go in for the Shadow Poison or not.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like even if he was going to switch it up. Like, I don't know if we've seen like just Disruption catch a build in a while.
The important thing is that it does let you farm at some point, whether or not that's doing stacks or whatever. Like it's still a great ability by the time it hits level 4. It's just the level 1 ability is far worse than it used to be.
But maybe the difference between an aggro trial and getting a kill or not for now, though. They still keep the pressure on and keeping Empire's defensive tri-lane in position. No roaming from anybody. The rest of us just down to straight mid matchups. Sorry, one-on-one matchups. But they're going again. Disruption, split Earth. MP actually holding onto that edict for now, but Aloha and repelled up and trying to run away. He's low on life. The physical damage, it won't be enough. Purification out from Aposhka.
Toby, I think you're right here. I think Soul Catcher on Shadow Demon would have been way better. Because if you Soul Catcher somebody and he gets repelled, it doesn't remove it. BKB does not remove Soul Catcher. And it would amplify the Diabolic Edict damage that Leshrac was doing. If he just Soul Catchered there and MP immediately used Diabolic Edict, I think they would have killed that Slardar. It actually would have gotten him, I think. Especially if he keeps maxing out Diabolic Edict. It's by far the best secondary ability on Lesh right now. Anybody that goes Lightning is playing outdated meta. Diabolic Edict does amazing damage, especially in tri-lane situations like this.
Lightning level 1, like the slow and damage just appears to be well negligible.
The damage is terrible. 4 points, you do 200. What's the big, like, why even bother casting that? The slow's okay, but an MP does go for 2 points in Split Earth. I'm fine with this, just efficient mana usage because he'll use it every time there's a disruption. But I definitely advocate for maxing Edict second.
No, I was thinking about like taking our attention towards the top lane a bit, but I actually want to look towards the mid lane. Forever and Ghost can just beat the crap out of each other. But is it really worth it here for Secret or Empire? Like, who's getting the best out of this mid lane? You're getting early levels over on a Phantom Assassin, which means your physical damage can be coming up a lot quicker for her.
It can, but normally the great part about PA is just that she can outplay a lot of heroes mid just with harass. But mid one should be able to stand up to that with Poor Man's Shield, Healing Ward, and just his ability to push the lane. Most mid heroes are a little bit vulnerable to dive. Aloha Dan's taking damage bottom again, but of course, completely fine. Honestly, if Pilot Eye got Soul Catcher, I think they would have killed him at least twice now.
That's the second time we've seen Secret initiate on that bottom lane. Oh, there's the first blood. Pimp able to find it just at the last moment as Axe Ghostic finally pushed the envelope just a little bit too far. But yeah, that's the second time the Secret have tried to. Oh, really? Omnislash, he's got 10 stick charges, so there is spin available, but God had bottle charges up as well.
Ooh, just fast enough here. It's hard to catch. Should have probably phased one more time before going for that, but they will be a-okay. They're still having so much trouble killing the Slardar. He's just farming. He's got 21 CS. Lesh has 17, so it's about even bottom, but I feel like Secret's really dropping the ball here by not getting tri-lane kills. We'll see if it matters later. This honestly might not matter at all.
Seems to be having a great time. Like, he's double the CS of the Axe now, not to mention getting that solo kill on him, so he's a full level in front.
That's a good point then. So even if they're not getting kills in their tri-lane, they're definitely going even, and Frev's winning his lane. So as long as Frev wins his lane, it should be fine.
And they're trying to win up mid. Like, the Omnislash is already committed by mid one, so I'm not certain about this, but Poppy's waiting just to rotate in, stun, ignite. But he's...
Only ignite, actually. That's all he's got. They could chase now. Nice. I don't think G saw this. He does get the ward.
Yes, the rune. Highlight Eye is low. Ashley has to disrupt himself at the moment. The Purification just obliterates him. And with the Fatal Bonds attempted on him, mid one and Poppy still trying to go after God. Slardar finishes the job on bottom lane in the meantime. Killing off Lesh. So Empire 2 very quick kills.
Yeah, Poppy actually made a pretty big mistake there. He ran forward to ignite, but then he kept moving in, and that allowed the PA to blink to him, and therefore mid one's spin was out of range. He needed to throw the ignite and then actually walk away, but that one's really difficult to remember when you're so used to just diving somebody, getting as close as possible. Does have Soul Catcher on Pilot Die now.
Disruption on bottom. That's a little too early. MP hadn't finished his TP in just yet. Maposhka actually has very little mana. He's still got a Mango on him if he wants to use it for a Purification. And now MP in a real world of hurt. The crush is out. MP can't walk away as PA finds that crit and brings Leshrac to his knees.
So now they're just losing the lane. It makes a lot of sense. I mean, they've got enough levels where they're all fairly tanky. Warlock's getting even more value per Shadow Word that he casts. Like, they had to get some kills there, and they just didn't quite have enough damage.
Is it rotation time then for Team Secret? Like, they got Puppy sitting in mid at the moment with mid one. Can you push the Timber to the off lane thanks to his good start in the lane?
He's got 2 points in reactive. He kind of can, but maybe not. Not against Warlock Omni. It's pure damage and magic damage, and Slardar has such good disable. I think they have to just kind of... It's a hard question, actually. This is maybe the worst case thing that can happen to a Leshrac, is that he gets a bit behind early. I just don't see the rotations working unless you commit Leshrac to the ganks as well. So it's going to be tough for them. They could do side pulls at least, so they're going to need a disruption.
Well, the stun will connect,
be it.
but you got Purification as well as Repel, but the damage, even from the range creeps hitting into him. It was helping.
That was hard. Leshrac almost had to commit to that with the dive ball.
Oh, mid one turns. God thought he had that one almost in the bag, but thanks to the Omni Slash, Phantom Assassin will go down. Ghostic rotates down the bottom lane. Upheaval, an early point up in that one, but it slows down Pilot Eyes. He runs into the tree line, and this will be a guaranteed kill. He's just going to try and stall him out a little bit. Disrupt, but yeah, no joy.
Buys as much as he can. It's not really a super farm support, so it's going all right for Secret. I am happy that Frev's doing so well, but he's going to be the one that has to dominate mid game, and he's the right hero to do it, considering all the strength heroes in melee that Empire have.
Yeah, it's the perfect game for a Timber to have a good start, and maybe that is the end plan sacrifice here from Team Secret. Like, you take out that top tower, you're able to like farm up your own jungle again, look for your stacks, look for your clearance. Let mid one start his rotations every time Omni Slash is off cooldown.
Yeah, the fact that he finally killed PA is so good. He's got 53 CS as well. They've got 2 huge farmers on Secret right now.
2 over 4k net worth.
So even if Lesh is having some iffy times, it's going all right. But he does need to get to this tankiness area, or he's just going to get slaughtered repeatedly in the mid game, and Secret's going to fall off heavily in damage, most likely.
Well, bottom lane, they're starting to wrap around. They thought for a moment that King R would move forward. Pilot is going to find him, starts with a poison, follows up in disruption. It's all out to get 2 poison stacks up, and now MP turns on the ignition, and King R into the tree lines. Repel will help him get a little bit further away, and thanks to the group wave coming up, it's soaked up just enough damage for him to survive, getting back past the tier 1 tower. Aloha dance, it's a crush, but almost just feels like a zoning thing than anything else. Making Secret think twice until Ghostic rotates over mid one. Healing waters down the crush. It's only over on Puppy, and for Rev, he finally joins the fight, almost killing off Maposhka. The Timber Chain way too far away from a good target. Ghostic dragging him down, but again the Whirling Death kicks in. The Repel allows Aloha Dance to also fall back to the safety of the tier 1 tower, and we found ourselves in a 5v5 scenario on bot lane. Everyone's brought everything.
They want to dive so bad, but their heroes just aren't tanky enough yet.
Empire's leaving.
I think I would against Timbersaw, especially with Arcane, Soul Ring, and an Infused Raindrop. He's not going to run out of mana anytime soon. And especially with that Arcanes, it solves all of his team's problem as well for mana.
This is the question time, right? Like, if MP, like, you got early points up at Edict, do you just try and sit here as a team, take out the tier 1 tower, and then get Lesh farm on top?
Or Lesh farm down here. Once you take the tower, it's very difficult for Empire to invade it. This is hugely beneficial, actually. Like 3 points in Edict, and you know this tower dies really fast. They got to glyph it, but now he just waits 15 seconds, and his next one will kill it. Like, this tower's dead already.
The glyph actually didn't even survive through most of the Edict, so it's still got a couple of seconds after it. And top lane, hello Aloha Dance, or I should say goodbye mid one. Not wasting any time on that Slanter, committing his 2-minute cooldown Omni Slash.
That's so good. Every single time he gets Omni Slash off cooldown, he gets another kill. It's like a Midas, basically. Just keeps killing. They're getting map control now from the bot lane. I mean, Empire does have defensive heroes, but the PA didn't farm well enough in the mid lane for that to be justified. He's behind.
Considering the start he was having, you'd think it'd be better for him. And you can always rely on maybe a little bit of RNG to bring you back into this game. But if you're losing your map, what's the upside?
Yeah, they'd have to win fights, and they've picked a lot of farm heroes. I guess at least Slaughter and Axe can get active early, but Axe is not close to Blink. He's only got 500. He's also at a rough lane. And Slaughter's got 500 as well. They're both really far from their action items.
They're going to smoke in behind the tower.
They need this kill.
Farev's already backing up. The creep wave's pushing in, and well, you can see PA farming it, but there's no one from Team Secret in the right area. Pylite Dine's copying a little bit of harassment on the bottom lane as they push to the tier 2 tower, so even if Empire want to sit behind that mid-tier 1, they can't. They're going to lose too much on their side lanes.
Yeah, they back off on the bot lane. They knew that the heroes were rotating. And they will probably hide. Shadow Demon very close to Arcane Boots. Absolutely will pick that up most likely.
What was that build done? We're going to see Puppy die. Like, he is surrounded by 3. It's little to no chance he survives. TP support's on the way, but the Culling Blade's already killed him off. Lesh didn't arrive in time. But yeah, what is actually the build? So it is the point booster at the moment on Lesh. I want to see what he moves into after this.
Yeah, the Bracer early just gives him some tankiness that he might need. I think it's fine that he did that. And then
he was still he's still sub 1,000 with both the Bracer and the point booster.
There's always the possibility too that he goes Drum. Drums, I'm a little unsure if it's what he needs, but just generic stats plus int is always good. Movement speed can help, and it'll give him a little armor. Like 6/7 armor. It's plenty. So yeah, Pylite Arcane Boots, farming jungle camps with 3 Shadow Poison. Now he's completely set here. Puppy's going to try to get free levels mid. It's really not a big deal that he died to a 3-man smoke gank. Better him than Timbersaw. As long as it's not like Juggernaut, Timber, or Flesh.
The crush was just used. The stun will follow up from MP. Turns on both the Pulse Nova and the Edict. Lapushka tried to help out the Aloha Dance. Stifling Dagger will arrive and they turn on the GA. Already the Leshrac just pops. Pylite one's out. No Lucky Bash. In fact, it's probably not even skilled up for that Slaughter.
Yeah, he had 1 actually.
1 point.
Very low chance, but... So yeah, Leshrac's damage not quite there yet.
You know the really sad thing was, just before that fight, Leshrac was almost having more net worth than the PA.
Very close. Almost made it.
Now he drops down below both Slaughter PA and Axe.
Okay. Well, I mean, considering the start, I thought it was going to go way worse. And with Frev being out of Bloodstone already, his team is in a good spot. Especially mid one. Absolutely dominating his mid lane. 2 kills.
Oh, Frev. Aloha has to turn around and try and dodge. He still got hit by the returning Chakram. Doesn't get hit by most of the original attack on that last little chain forward. So survives to fight another day. Or to at least heal this day.
Yeah, and they're continuously invading the enemy jungle. This is where they need to be. Oh, it's he's killing Ancients, okay.
Did anyone see that? Did this see mid one? I think it went both ways, judging by the movement of mid one and the movement of the courier. Well, that's a nice quick farm for Ghostic. No Winter Wyvern axe this time around, but because you have Purification anyway to give him that life back and the Shadow Word.
I like the Vanguard on PA here. It's a good solution when they have this much nuke damage on Secret. Better than a Vlad's in a lot of ways. Oh, he actually Shadow Poisoned like 4 heroes. I don't know if you can tell. That was like
it shouldn't have an indicator.
It should not, I don't think.
Pylite on the run, but because he's got the Observer on the hillside, so we saw the PA wrapping around. Now we'll start his TP. Forev being amplified up. There's a lot chasing him. Unfortunately for Team Empire, they started this initiation. They bought the blink before it, but it hadn't been delivered to Ghostic.
That's the worst. Well, they get 1 Observer Ward at least, so that kind of helps, but...
He didn't even bring it out this time. The Courier went all the way back to base and then just came out, but the Blink Dagger is still in his stash.
That's really unfortunate. They needed that kill on anybody. Even the Shadow Demon would have made it a bit worth it. Phantom Assassin really wants to dive too, as well with the Vanguard. But, the Vanguard's actually so cool this game. With heals on top of that, it just makes it so much harder for Secret to actually get a kill. Whether through nukes or right clicks. If he goes Deso afterwards, I think this is the build. Yeah, I don't think you go Battle Fury this game. Definitely Deso.
It's crazy with just one easy ability with like a 20-second cooldown, you can force out Fortification.
Yeah.
And just walks in, throws Edict. Now, mass TPs are on the way in. Split Earth. A little bit missing of the timing there from MP. As the hero that TP'd him was already away. Oh, there goes your rock drop. It's Forev. He can chain himself out of this one. The stun having no effect, but the Purge removing the repel on Aloha Dance, which is what saved him from the Split Earth. And Forev still needs to be able to Timber Chain out of this one. He's waiting so long. Now the call's over and MP chains himself forward with the Whirling Death, almost killing off Aloha Dance. Defensive Disruption is not enough to keep MP alive. He'll still die surrounded by all of Team Empire. And when I say all of Team Empire, I mean all of Team Empire, Rocks included. Team Secret are still pushing in the mid lane at the same time, so they're going to find Forev, they're going to find Leshrac, but they're losing the tier 1 tower in mid lane.
Actually, can't believe they finally got kills there. They were chasing for so long, it felt like the most futile thing ever, but they were able to take the fight, getting 2 kills out of that one. Timbersaw as well as Lesh. Timber could have suicided, maybe even saved Lesh there. No, there's no reason to do that, but Lesh really needed to turn his Pulse Nova on before he got called by the Axe. That could have changed things, especially because if he's in Disruption, he's still doing that damage, so would have been really effective.
Well, Team Secret, they lose a big one, but they don't lose the biggest one. That Juggernaut still took out the mid tower, and now he's going to grab Aloha Dance, the Crush. At the very last moment, he just was hopeful he would hit mid one.
And normally you buy a Manta style, and you're like, man, that sucks, I have to buy a Manta. It's actually so good this game against the Slaughter, because he got it so early. He's already 1800 gold past his Manta style, so it's not even a bad damage item. It's just, oh, my Omni Slashes will get more hits in. That's great, I'll take that. And you can just farm with these too, like free crits.
Free zoning on King R.
Yeah.
Easy way to get rid of amplification.
Yeah, it's
other,
really good.
other things you can dodge as well.
I don't know what he goes after. Probably Diffusal Blade, I would say. Diffusal would be great. He can remove amp damage from him or his allies with it as well.
And he's also going up against Omni Knight. Like, having to fight through Repel is not always the funnest thing.
It's pretty straightforward, isn't it? It's definitely something we should have mentioned in the draft.
Surprising though, like you say, like it's better for his Omni Slash with Manta. Why wouldn't you go the Diffusal over the Manta to start with?
HP. Diffusal doesn't give you HP, it doesn't give you movement speed. More damage isn't always a good thing. And Manta does give you a lot of attack speed. That's definitely one of the best things about the item. 41 attack speed total with the agility. So, and 26 damage from the agility you gain. So it's a decent damage item, but the active aspects and the illusions that it gives you is usually quite bad.
So we're 18 minutes in. The CS is through the roof that the two Team Secret cause. Forev, okay, the chase is up. Mid one trying to turn and try to distract them. Forev, purification. It doesn't work. Mid one was spinning, so he didn't get hit by that. But Aloha Dens has the movement speed thanks to Sprint. God gonna get pushed up, and Aloha back into the fight. Where's the big stuns? They're not really coming in enough because the purification again allowing Empire to have this sustain. The double stun will at least make it so Leshrac could run back to the tier 1 tower. He hit both King R and Aloha Dens, but Aloha looking for another fight. Turns on the Edict, but no mana for Pulse Nova and Team Secret in what is very reminiscent of what happened to Alliance versus Liquid. Have a disastrous fight, one by one dying. Nowhere near the level of the Alliance fight, but still.
Yeah, that's actually amazing. Their net worth is so ahead for their two leading heroes, but they're just getting beat in fights so straightforward. It's the dive with the Omni heal, and it's not going to stop. The Slardar can chase well, the Axe can chase, the PA can chase. They have 3 heroes that are insanely mobile and all synergize amazing with Omni Knight.
Forev's being a real pain in the butt by throwing that chakram down. They got the Observer Ward on the hill, thanks to Team Empire. The jump pump, Ghostic gets the call over on Puppey. Pilot Eye still in the neighborhood. If he actually has to throw out the disruption, he won't do it though. Puppey drops, but because of this engagement from Team Secret, it bought them time for Leshrac as well as Juggernaut to come up, but Pilot died. Oh boy. Well, he was put back in the grave pretty quickly.
Their 5-man is just so strong. They need like Forev to have an armor item like immediately.
Yep. They're going for Forev. Forev may even have to suicide here because everyone is coming over.
Oh, it's Bloodstone.
Empire almost feels like they're using Roshan as bait, and he won't even be able to trigger his Bloodstone as he gets culling bladed down by Ghostic.
Dude, this is like some MVP Phoenix strat kind of thing that Empire's doing here. They're just running at their opponents and they're making mistakes and they're not quite at their windows. Like, MP is way behind now. He's had 5 times. He's going for a drum after he's built a point booster. Like, he's completely off target. He had to snowball a little bit in the laning stage, and ever since then, Empire's dive potential is just so strong.
But it seems like Team Secret could have studied the ship. Like, yeah, Leshrac goes absolutely horribly, but the Juggernaut, the Timber, they were fantastic, but they were watched completely. That Observer Ward on the hillside saw everything.
And it's not just about the odds, it's just like, yeah, Juggernaut's able to farm rapidly and get kills occasionally with Omni Slash, but that doesn't mean that he's going to have a massive impact in team fights that synergizes with his team. Like, his hero actually doesn't synergize at all with Secret in some ways, because he's got Bloodlust and that's cool and all, but...
Let's have a quick look while we're paused up, just at that last little bit of engagement around Roshan. And this is that time, like, see, you lose your first 2 cores in this position.
Yeah, the only way that fight worked was if Lesh was there at the start, ready to stun when they went on Timber. But when you lose one of your highest damage outputs at the very start, and when Jug doesn't have his Omni Slash here, just so little chance of him actually winning this fight.
Leshrac there, you see him arriving at the last moment. Is that when Team Secret almost just have to wait this out a lot more? Like, you get one hero, do you cut your losses, and then try and group up more as 5? And do you even win when you're grouped up as 5 as Secret?
It's tough. Like, if you grab 5 and you do chain disables on one guy, maybe. But they've got Warlock heal, they've got Repel, they've got Guardian Angel. They have 2 heroes that can easily counter-initiate in an AoE, both Axe and the Slardar. Like, there's so many problems that will happen when Secret actually does try to initiate. It isn't really until they get their Diffusal Blade, maybe, that it becomes easier. Mid one does opt for a Blink Dagger after his Manta, just so that he can counter some of their mobility that they have. They have such a big mobility advantage, you know? Yeah. To get to Blink, at least that way he can get disrupted and then blink out, something like that. Because right now they just don't have good solutions. They're less mobile, and they're worse at team fighting. Well,
luckily, the game is back underway, so we can jump back into that now. As Team Secret, well, they're down 10 kills, and they're down a fair amount of other things, but they still actually have that Juggernaut to work for him, if he's going to be big enough to do so.
One solution here, I actually really like Medallion on Ogre Magi, first item. Offsets a lot of what the Slardar ulti does. With that said, it's about to be level 2, so the Medallion will not be enough, but if he was able to pick this up a bit earlier, whoever does get gone on, they could cover a bit.
What is the normal item build he would go for instead?
Typical Glimmer Cape kind of thing. Maybe Force Staff is a very standard Ogre build.
Would you still go back into that, or would you almost think about doing something like a Solar Crest in this game?
Solar Crest is not a bad idea. Actually, it's a very good idea. PA very rarely will build MKB. Slaughter doesn't want to buy it either. I like the Solar Crest idea. I think you could
considering
definitely rush
PA built the Desolator too, like that MKB chance drops drastically.
Yeah. They just need a solution against all this physical damage, and they've basically Empire got to exploit this window for like 5-10 minutes when really Secret should use their early game, been a little bit more careful, and transitioned into Diffusal Blade on Jug and then taken a good fight and won the fight. But they haven't done that. They've just been getting rolled over repeatedly, and now they're underfarmed.
Team Secret. They try and prepare themselves around the tier 2 tower. They are still not ready to fight. The Timbersaw is not there. They're using SD illusions to scout out the movement of Team Empire, finding Aloha dance over in the tree line. And Team Secret, yeah, they're not having a bar of this. They're just going to let all their towers go down while mid one gets farm. You get the farm on the Timber on the top in the meantime.
They're able to slow on the push at least, but...
They actually push hard enough that... Yeah, they pushed hard enough that Empire retreated an axe. And the bottom tier 2 tower is taking free damage at the moment.
Yeah.
Even to a point where he's fortifying against a Manta illusion push.
The issue is more so the fact that the tower gets bloodlusted and it's level 4 bloodlust, so massive damage output. And the only tower hitter they really have is PA and maybe Warlock. You can't hit the tower when you have 4 melee heroes, you know? Like, it's just not going to work.
It's not something you really think about when you say like bloodlust in a tower. Most people just like, oh, it gets bigger. But that amount of damage, yeah.
Especially when they don't have enough tower hitters. And PA's not even amazing against it. The Deathswell helps a lot, but he doesn't have high attack speed.
Oh god, jumps in, he's going in on MP,
oh, this could work.
Gets stunned up, mid one right behind him. There is no creep wave here, but the repel will allow God to move forward. No casting on it, and MP, well, you could follow the balls of light to try and find him in the tree line, but they fail at that. And mid one will blink himself away, so he actually got the blink before completing Diffusal Blade.
Is he making Aghanim Scepter on Lush? This is what it kind of looks like. He picks up a staff for wizardry. It could be a 4-staff, but
it could also be the Yules.
Yeah, it could be, I guess, because he has one lace. I think you're right on that one. It's like what we talked about. Point booster,
Yep.
go back to the Yules. That way you can at least remove the amp damage.
Yeah, he just completed the drums, so it's very expensive and kind of makes him a little bit slow with his progression if he does this.
Yeah, but it does ideally make him strong at all stages of the game. It just won't allow him to jump heavy peaks of strength.
Yeah.
That's the benefit of rushing.
It at least allows him to also initiate himself too, or potentially get out of trouble. Like Yules into
faster,
Split
yeah.
Earth, like you don't have to rely all the time on ST, so ST can use his disruption defensively.
Yep, exactly. And you can chase faster too.
Bottom lane, there's a lot of pushing around. Okay, Forev. There is a old Tinkerward up on that hill trying to scout out the movement. Forev, Puppy's going to be in the neighborhood looking for the extra stuns. He timber chains away, the rocks will drop. And can the rest of Secret get out of here? God jumps forward but cannot kill Forev. So Team Secret get out of that. Meanwhile, the Shrike will die on the top lane. Axe initiates on him, so he managed to get that with an SD behind him.
With Blade Mail. That's why he turns on Blade Mail, calls him, and if he's got Edict on with Pulse Nova, he just blows himself up. Mid one getting a little caught, does remove amp damage.
God comes jump in straight away, but thanks to the Timber Chain, you got Slana down. The Aegis Immortal will trigger upheavals. A little bit of a problem, but Forev's able to just Timber Chain himself out of this one. Puppy wants to help out. He'll need to land that stun or an ignite, something to slow down King R, who starts his TP. They do not have enough damage to kill him, even though the crits from mid one tried to help out.
They should have been able to get that kill. Mid one got too scared, he blinked away after the kill on the PA, so they might still get Maposhka though. He's got a TP, he's got a gem as well. They need to kill this guy to be huge.
Where's the crits? Where's the crits? Where's the stuns? Repel came back up and he was able to get out.
Yeah, just DJ and Aura and some good survivability. Omni Knight doesn't go down. He hasn't died yet, by the way. 4-0 and 8 on this guy. Maposhka has been playing amazing.
And he's already got the Ether Lens, so it's through you to cast range.
Yeah, really. And more mana pool, and he's got HP regen. Pretty strong for now. How's MP doing? That's the hero I'm worried about.
What's that on Forev? So if Forev is actually going for a Shiva's, by the looks of it.
Yeah, it is a Shiva's.
So he bought the recipe first.
It's a good choice, absolutely. Reduced attack speed. It's amazing. It's one of the best counters actually against Slardar. Just because Slardar rarely buys that much attack speed. He goes like treads into blink, into forks usually.
Oh, Pilot Eye. Blink, Crush, Puppy's going to be there to get a follow-up some to Aloha, but Pilot Eye's got nowhere to go. Ghostic just turned on the call as well as the Blade Mail. Now mid one jumps in. Where is that ulti of his? He doesn't have it up just yet. The upheaval slowing him down, so the chase won't be as effective.
They can chase. He's got Diffusal Blade. He's got Blink up in 2.
Wow, SD actually bought back. He's got Diffuser Blade to burn through Maposhka, but where is this hit? There's your jump forward. Ghost Six again with a call. Midnight had to spin up. He couldn't do the work. The blade mail was out. And that is going to be still a 2-for-1 trade-off if you look at the end of it, but the buyback did come out from Pylite Eye.
Okay.
For some unusual reason.
Man, I thought that was going to be way better for Secret. I mean, at least they killed the Omni Knight.
Yeah.
If that didn't happen, it would have been absolutely
Is
huge loss.
Maybe that's when Secret is considering Empire trying to commit. Like, we are 26 minutes in, and the Die have not lost their tier 1 tower on top.
Yeah, it's their lack of pushing here. They're really good at fighting, but hitting buildings, they're not good at that. Maybe they should have built a mid-game Vlad's or something. I mean, I like the Vanguard that PA has, but with Vlad's, they would have pushed way faster on the mid lane. Keep your creeps alive longer. That's actually one of the bigger sources of damage in the whole game, is just creeps. Throw Vlad's on top of that, you got a push going. But who builds it is a question. Maybe Omni Knight could have instead of Aether Lens. I actually think that might have been all right.
With the Warlock rushing an Ags, he's not going to be doing it.
There's so many heroes that could have, but said like, okay, we all have better options. But
yeah.
With the exception of maybe PA, but I still justify his Vanguard based on the fact that he was against a Leshrac, a Timber. Yeah. Like if he just goes Vlad's and he gets hit by one combo, just dead.
Well, we had a big debate about this yesterday, right? When we're talking about the PA, how you really enjoyed like the Vanguard and Desolator build, how it's so much more efficient for the agility hero.
Kind of. More just that he dies. He has low HP, and Vanguard is or Vlad's is amazing if you're 5-man fighting. But against nukes, Vanguard is arguably far better for survivability.
Here comes Team Empire, thanks to the Observer on the hillside. They have some decent vision, and the better one MP. Is actually MP. It takes 3 hits, 2 of them coming out from the PA.
Oh, and they got the Juggernaut on top of that?
Juggernaut slipped in through the rear. They didn't actually have proper vision on him at the time.
What a absolute amazing gank for them.
But now they saw all the wards when they went through. Is that who's carrying the gem at the moment? It's on God.
On the bright side, Secret has been pushing all their lanes for this reason, because if Empire does take a team fight, Empire's going to win a team fight. But if they push all the lanes, they win a fight, and they all have to run back across the map to start pushing. So just now, Axe is about to do damage top. He will get the tower, obviously, but that's all they got out of that fight. They got literally the 2 most important heroes on Secret, and they got a tier 1 tower in the safe lane. That's all.
Do you mean to say that's all they've got?
Well, that's very poor gains considering the heroes that they killed. That should be like a tier 2 tower that's important, or a Roshan or something. Instead it was go back, push lanes, get 1 good tower, and set up for the tier 2. They might be able to defend this. I mean, Jug's up in 6. They've got a glyph ready to go.
And as long as Timber can TP in, then they're pretty damn good. But Timber's already added a lot of momentum to the bottom lane. The first line I see drawing the map is PA, drawing the big blue line across the bottom, saying forever's coming for us. So already Team Empire, they're looking behind themselves before they push forward.
So like this double, double plate mail on
Timber?
Yeah.
What is that?
That's an item build right there. I mean, he needs it actually. 1 plate mail is not enough. Like amp damage already wrecks that.
So what? He's going to build both an assault. He'll be Lotus Orb as well as Shivas, right?
Yeah, definitely. He's going to be the build. Both really good. Lotus Orb can remove the amp damage alone, so arguably is maybe better to rush. I actually like this build. This is really smart.
Team Secret are already getting themselves. Oh, Aloha! He blinked in. How will get the initial stun? The support.
And a solar press, he's gonna be okay, but what an amazing fight for Secret there. It all changed. If the Slaughter just stunned Puppy and then started walking, everything changes. But all it takes is 1 disable, and everybody on Secret knows that guy is out of position.
That's one of those fights we want to see again, and we're going to do it right now while they do Roshan. So the initial jump in, you instantly lose Slaughter, and then things just go from bad to worse for Empire.
Yeah, the Omni Slash immediately killed Slaughter, and it kept bouncing to the Axe, so Axe had to get out, and they got disruption off on the Leshrac. Everything that Empire did to start that fight was bad, and Frev perfectly pressured to guarantee a bunch of those kills.
And he must have felt so lucky when that happened. Like, the fact that the Phantom Assassin, like, she only had one way out, right? Like, she had to Phantom Strike to her own teammates to make it work. And at the end of the day, Team Secret just got themselves a huge advantage back. How much do we actually swing as well? So it was already kicking up for Team Empire. They're up a couple of grand, but now it goes back the way of Team Secret.
That's like 5k or something. No big deal. Just a 5k team fight. And I'm looking at the items that Empire has. Man, if they had, I think the Vlad's on Omni would have been better, honestly. Maybe, I don't know if I would go mech on him, but I think Vlad's is pretty underrated this game, especially against somebody like Juggernaut and Leshrac with Divalky.
What is the second thing he's getting? Like that wind lace, is it meant to go into anything, or is it just a casual?
You just hold it. It's just important to hold, because the faster, especially as a hero like Omni Knight, with low cast ranges, movement speed allows you to react faster if you're out of position. So movement speed on a hero like Omni is massively good. I would do Force Staff for him, or definitely Vlad's. Probably Vlad's this game. He's kind of missed his window though. They really needed an item like that to push. It was really the only thing lacking in Empire's draft.
Well, one way to reduce distances will be having that Shiva's Guard up on the axe. He currently buys the plate mail for it, but at the same time, Secret, because of those really great fights and then the ability to just go off on the map, farm, and not die, you're gonna see Team Secret getting their big items up, especially on that Timber.
Yeah, once he gets his next armor item, and maybe even his third, honestly, I wouldn't put it against him, get 3 armor items. Or maybe like Lotus into Axe, that would probably be ideal. Once he gets that, he's almost unkillable. And Axe is reaching a similar point. He has so many items right now. 7, 2, and 5 Ghost Sticks have an amazing game. He's very difficult for the Jug to kill, especially for these medium utility damage items that Juggernaut's focusing on. So
with this much money on Forev, do you actually just say, like, screw it, I'm going to get the AC on him as opposed to Lotus?
Definitely not. Not this game. I mean, I like the idea. There are games when it's okay to do something greedy like that, but Timber is not a right-click here. The attack speed's completely wasted, and Lotus also removes the amp damage. You would never bother doing that. It's just not worth it in any way.
So the AC would, yeah, the aura isn't enough of an advantage.
Not at all.
Fair enough.
Definitely leave it for, like, Jug.
Well, Leshranc's getting closer towards having at least the soul booster. The Bloodstone's still a way off. But at the same time this is happening, they did give Warlock a little bit of space on bottom lane. So Warlock is, well, he was only a couple of hundred away from having the Aghanim Scepter. So double Rock's a little bit more of a problem for Team Secret pushing high ground, if that is what they plan to do. Unless the next big plan is take that tier 2 tower out, then secure Roshan.
I mean, now that the game is more even, they definitely can play around Roshan like that. Now they're just doing illusion spam. And Shadow Demon is one of the best heroes to actually pair with Juggernaut for that reason. I mean, you guys have seen any illusion spam, but Jug arguably some of the best illusions in the game due to having Blade Dance naturally and an amazing agility gain. So, very good against heroes. Better than most heroes, actually. So Pylai farming aggressively, he'll continue pushing out lanes. He goes for a Ghost Scepter of his own. Very good item build against PA.
So you've currently got a lot of money over on the Juggernaut.
Yes.
Like, Aegis time's out in about 2 minutes.
Are you gonna ask what item?
I'm thinking what's gonna be the best item. Like, if it's survivability, if it's just gonna be like Evasion Butterfly. Do you actually go for more lockdown control?
You know, I think I like the AC on him. It's either AC Butterfly or Scotty is usually your next item. I don't think it's a BKB game by no means. I think AC is by far the best item that he could get here. His HP is a little low, so it looks scary. But considering just how much minus armor is on the enemy team, if you get that as an item, it solves a lot of problems. And it also protects you so much against Blade Mail, because if Axe ever Blink calls him, he's reflecting the physical damage that mid one is throwing. And if he increases his armor by 15 and increases the minus armor that he does, he's going to do a much larger percentage of damage to Axe and much lower to himself as a reflection. Like, AC is one of the best anti-Blade Mail items in the game if you're a physical damage carry. That's what he's got to buy. If he gets Butterfly, yeah, his opponents are going to miss, and yeah, he's going to have a little bit more armor and a ton of attack speed, but he can get a very similar thing by buying an AC for himself.
Team Empire trying to set up a trap on bottom lane, but while they're doing that, Team Secret are looking for an opening on mid. Rev's going to TP himself down to that one, so it looks like Team Secret are just happy again to sack their outer towers, and Purge again on the money too. The Skadi is completed.
So the benefit of this over AC is you get some armor, but you also get a lot of HP. It's like 750 HP. And he's also going to have the utility of the slow. And it's another item that doesn't increase your damage by that much, so it's also a decent solution. It's like a halfway point between a damage item and something like an AC.
You found the mid-ground in your logic.
Bloodstone recipe ready to go. That means it's time. MP's Bloodstone is finished.
Oh boy. That means they've got double the Bloodstones, and what, now it's time for MP to die? So he can lose all of his charges?
I mean, might as well, he's practically a support at this point. 275.
So brutal.
I mean, Lesh is a punishing hero, man. You either wreck the game or you get behind and you feel worthless.
Man, Ogre and SD, actually their utility abilities are actually a lot more useful at this point. But still,
Yeah.
I'm a little concerned about the lockdown onto Team Secret. If God can get the initiation off, and there's nothing to break him free for the Juggernaut, like that full Abyssal Blade on PA is just going to destroy him.
Yes, but there's always disruption. And MP is, you know, he has been dying a few times, so I wouldn't even be that surprised to be like, oh, MP died at the start. Well, we'll see if Secret can pull this one out. And Timbersaw's the hero for it, really, especially with this much armor. 3,300 gold on him. Does he have the... no follow-up items. So I wonder if he maybe had Perseverance. There's the Perseverance from the side shop, so he's got Lotus Orb ready to go if he wants to, and most likely will buy. Save him buyback.
Have to sacrifice his buyback if he doesn't.
Yeah, a little dangerous.
Empire very grouped up, so schmock. Question is, where is the line being drawn on the map? Currently, it's a straight B line for the bot lane. Is the movement for Team Empire. They only have one real option to kill down there, which is for Rev. He's got his BTs off cooldown, so there's a chance that he could just get out of there. And in fact, all the rest of Secret seem to have read this. They scan? Nope, the scan is still off cooldown, so yeah, they just read it.
Missing heroes, and actually very few wards up for Secret at the moment. This is a pretty bad moment, especially if they get initiated on here. Oh, Rev's the best person to get jumped on.
He's so close, but he's not walking up the hill. Mid one's hovering around, so Team Secret have smoked up themselves. And what do they get? Like, mid one's going to walk in close. If his smoke breaks, he'll know they're there. So his smoke just broke, and he instantly pinks. He knows they're up at the secret shop, so he'll create an illusion. In fact, he'll create two to send over there and get real information. Finding Maposhka, burning off the mana as well as doing a little bit of damage. God has to jump down, try and take care of him. But the rest of Empire, they want to go. Ghostic. He moves into the only position he can to get some vision down into the tree line in front.
I really like the way Secret moved there. They moved from their tier 2 all the way to the left. And look at the observer where the Secret just placed. It's not actually going to be useful. They were expecting them to be there, but that was like a 10-second too late ward.
Oh, Team Secret just want to force the issue. Like, okay, all of Empire, they're still up at the Secret Shop. They're not going to be able to get back to their mid-ranks in time. So what do? You force the TPs. You force them to be out of position. All they can do is scramble defense. They can't counter-engage.
Yeah, they don't want them. They don't want to fight in that area because Empire had the high ground. It's easy to defend when you're up there. Obviously, if you leave that position, that's a little tough because you have to tunnel down a ramp, but Secret knew they didn't want to push there. They just pressure mid. That forces Empire back into a standard defensive position, and it should be a more straightforward fight.
Well, Roshan's up in a minute 20. See if Team Secret want to wait, or if they just wait for an opportunity more than anything else. Both of those observer wards, which are down from Team Empire, will not give them any real information about Team Secret going for Roshan. They watch the bottom lane instead, so you just TP the Timber back. You can BT back out anyway. So they're looking pretty good.
Yeah, so with Roche coming up in a moment, Secret should be able to control that, I think, especially with all the illusion spam. Forev also has BOTs. I mean, they've got everything they need, really. And I think they have a gem as well. Who's holding onto that? Oh, Puppy does have that. They haven't spotted either ward. They got the one on the right now. But the one on the left by the tower they haven't caught yet.
Team Secret kind of saw them coming anyway with their observer ward, which got dewarded. So they've lost their vision inside Empire's jungle, and vice versa. But 23 seconds now until Roshan is up.
Empire's also really low on mana, so he's going to have to go heal. But luckily for them, Empire's going to back off for the moment, pushing lanes again. It's kind of looking like they don't have a very good win condition anymore. I think Secret has finally gotten strong enough. Like the armor items, once the armor items start coming out for a team, that's when everything changes. Because all of the focus that Empire's draft has is hitting this like early to mid timing when everybody's base armor is kind of low and they haven't had the money to afford HP plus armor. And that moment is gone now.
Wait, Puppy, that was not dead. I don't know if he circled around just so the ward didn't die.
Surely they didn't do it on purpose.
Well, it would allow them to get the money as opposed to the creep wave killing it off.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. In which case, nice 100 gold. I think they were scared.
Was he waiting? He's like, who needs the 100? Who needs the 100? Puppy now can afford a blink dagger, but while they're doing this, wow. Roshan is done by Team Empire. His amplification with a Phantom Assassin.
Zoning ward right there. Sword Art chasing. Doesn't have BKB yet. If he goes in, this is really dangerous for him.
Timbersaw was a little bit further away, so May not have been that bad. Secret was scrambling to the wind.
Yeah, so we'll wait for the next moment.
But the top wave's pushing in. You've got bottom lane now being pushed down by the Juggernaut.
I wonder what Timbersail's going to buy here with this
Sorry,
chainmail.
by the Lash.
Blade mail, maybe? Blade mail would actually be really good on Timber here, I think. The only problem is expecting them to ever even bother attacking you. It'd probably be wasted in that way. Maybe he'll go...
But I said, did anyone buy a mech? Can he get into a Greaves?
Honestly, I'm thinking about him, like, maybe. He's got the mana, that's for sure. Although...
Oh, could he just get Guard? Crimson.
I don't know if I would want Crimson Guard. I guess his HP is a little low. It could be useful, but... I think it's just... I don't know. If you have a chainmail and you have to buy something... I don't know, man. Buckler? Buckler's not bad, but
he buys his own Solar Crest.
He's far enough ahead that he should just go for something serious. Solar Crest could actually work, honestly, for his own. And just never use it. It's kind of expensive, but...
It would seem to make more sense to get something like an Aghanim Scepter on him.
Exactly, that's what I'm thinking. It's like, he's tanky enough. He doesn't need more tank. You might as well just get an Octarine or an Axe. Like, that would make more sense to me.
Maybe he's just got it casually bought until he can buy something bigger.
Like an AC? I mean, if Juggernaut's not going to buy it, and at some point Jug will have to go for bigger items. Maybe. Okay,
no, it is. It's actually a blade mail.
If he's got full charges and anybody right-clicks him at all, he's gonna take almost no damage and he's gonna reflect a massive amount. Especially against Omni Knight, actually. That's a good hero. 360 pure damage reflected back to the Omni Knight. That's probably not repelling himself. That can be useful.
I wait for PA to kill herself. At least the Slav's gonna have a BKB in the next fight for Team Empire, so he won't care at all.
I think you're actually really right. PA only has 12 armor, so he will be very vulnerable to Blade Mill. Frev continuing to position himself like a support. Nothing new here.
These illusions just keep scanning out Team Empire as well, so Forever can be positioned as a support, but right now SD, he's the best ward on the map, and they send in 5 illusions of Juggernaut to the bottom lane.
Shiva's helping a lot with that, reducing the attack speed by a huge amount. So more disruption, more pushing, more map control, all to get Secret what they need, which is waiting out the Aegis, ideally, and continuing to get farm. As this game goes later and later, they will have a bigger advantage, just based on the way their heroes scale. Leshrac will eventually get 5 items someday, and Jug with more armor, more items is always going to be good too.
At the pace this game is going, and at the apprehension both teams have of going high grounds, yeah, he may actually get 6 items this game.
I mean, it's not just about being scared about high ground, it's also about the fact that you don't want to force a 5v5 high ground if you're not quite ready. It's better to play the map, get kills, and half the time the teams don't want to go high ground because they don't necessarily know where their opponents are. Their opponents could be behind them or swinging. It's all about tactical movement. It's like
well, no one can see where they're
chess.
going because everyone's been so good at deboarding, and Team Secret get information, but it's only for a short period of time. And normally it's like Team Empire moving on me, and then Team Empire won't move on them because they get scattered out.
Yeah, they actually both have gems, so this whole no vision thing makes it a little harder. There's places everybody could be, but you never really know exactly where they're at.
There is a nice option for him now with the 2nd level BTs over on the Timbersaw, so he can jump onto the back of like a blinking in Juggernaut or something along those lines. So they can be more aggressive without having to play around creep waves or buildings.
That's really good points, yeah. Jug could go anywhere. If there's a solo pusher or a split pusher, Jug sets up for it. TP in, get a kill.
The Jug illusions are currently pushing out the mid lane.
Yeah.
The ones Empire go past, they scan up in the dire jungle, looking for an opening there, but Team Secret, they're nowhere near that. Right, Team Secret are inside their base, waiting, defensive, while Timbersaw does the split push. And all the lanes from Team Secret are now over the Radiant River. I said the Radiant River like they own it, over the river.
And that's what makes these smokes so worthless. It's like, they're just not going to be there. If they push out the lanes this hard, that means they know that Empire is not pushing the lanes back. And if Empire was not smoking, they would walk away. They would walk somewhere and they would push the lane. They would have pushed out mid by now. They would have maybe gone top, maybe bottom, but they've gone on none of the 3 lanes. Aegis, or like Roche isn't even up. So what are they doing? They're not pushing the lanes. Clearly they're ganking. So Secret's like, okay guys, time to sit in the base. Good job, we pushed the lanes. Empire wasted another smoke.
What was that game? Was it IG LGD or eHarm LGD? TI3? The one that AC and...
the super long game?
Yeah.
That me and Owen beat. And by beat, I mean happened to be the casters for the longest game in history. Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. That game was boring though.
I refer to the other game though because the game at TI3 was the one where it's like, oh, can they?
Yeah, they got the stun.
Well, they actually have 3 times stun. The Omni Slash goes into the creep wave, however, allowing Gozix to trigger off the cheese. He's still down 3/4 of his life. They force up out now. Forev tries to create some space with the Purge over on God. They have to drop down the rocks, create some space, but those golems don't last long. But Gozix, a 3-man call with a fatal bond. once is not enough. He'll point the way to safety. So Team Secret find the opening, but still it was difficult to instantly get the kills.
They do get the gem at least. The buyback is going to cost the mid one. Really died fast there in that crucial moment. If he had an AC, I just think he lives in that fight. Instead, he went Scotty. He's got boots of travel now. I really feel like an AC would have changed everything. Either way, they win the fight, and they're hitting the tower now, so finally they're going to get a bit of a Rax advantage. I don't know if it'll be enough.
Unfortunately, Forev is like the worst hero they can have on the front lines attacking the town, but he's the only one they can have on the front lines to survive any initiations Empire throws at him.
This is what they're doing. They're ganking illusions. This is all they can do. And she's getting low, actually.
Oh, the jump in! Mid-one point! That's why there was no you're losing a second lane of Rax.
And now they're going to take the second set. Most likely, at minimum, the buyback.
Secret are trying to force it anyway. Again, like they just used it. They're doing what Empire did in their game up against OG. You put one on the front lines, which you know if you try and kill him, you're probably not going to succeed. And then you wait for the opening.
The blade now.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's ancient is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's ancient is under attack. Radiant's ancient